Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me on Weather Impact Live. I am Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio, and it is time for the Sunday edition of Weather Impact Live. We've got a lot to get to on the show today, so thanks for joining us. First and foremost, we had a little shower, believe it or not, come through St. Pete just a little while ago. I circled it for you. You could see that yellow, orangey, I think I had a Volkswagen Beetle, that color, whatever you want to call that. Mustard. That's what we're going to call it. Mustardy color. Anyway, I circled it. We had a little shower, about an hour ago, right by the Gandy Bridge. Literally Gandy Boulevard here in St. Pete, and then moved over the bay. Really cool, especially when you consider that little shower was not over the bridge, nor was it on the Tampa Bay side in South Tampa. So kind of cool, very microclimate. I love it. So again, just to let you know, and now the sun is back out and we're looking really nice. In fact, the afternoon is going to shape up a bit better here. We're going to be talking about high temperatures into the upper 70s. Really good looking stuff. As far as the rest of what's on our satellite and radar shot, you can see the cloudiness and the cloud coverage right around Fishhawk a little bit. Wauchula getting into the act, a few clouds here. And it's just the kind of prevailing flow. But that's a nice little boundary that's set up. Kind of looks like an outflow boundary a little bit, but there is no outflow. But kind of interesting little kind of frontal, photogenic forcing, if you will, there, trying to pop up. All right, South Jersey, Southern Florida. I was thinking of South Jersey because we're going to show you some cams from Southern New Jersey as well, from some of the snow that they're getting up there. But South Florida, a world away from South Jersey this morning, in more ways than one. We'll tell you about it coming up. But anyway, we got a little rain approaching Marco Island and in towards Sanibel and in towards Fort Myers as well. Futurecast, let's roll through this here. And, pretty smooth sailing. Nothing to worry about as we head in towards this afternoon. Notice the wind is northerly at about 14 miles an hour as we head through 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock as well as we move in towards 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That wind is 12 miles an hour. Notice the skies are generally clear. A little bit of cloudiness towards Lakeland and on I-4 as you make your way into Polk County, perhaps towards Orlando as well, getting into the act with some of that cloudiness. But really kind of hit and miss, and more miss than hit. And then by 9 o'clock, another little wave of cloudiness, temperature down into the mid 60s. And then as we move into the overnight hours, look at that, 57 degrees with a 19-mile-an-hour wind at 2 a.m. So waking up tomorrow morning, you're getting the kids on the school bus tomorrow, and it is going to be a chilly start. So at 5 a.m., it's 54 degrees, at 53 at about 7. I'm forecasting an overnight low, probably about 51. 52 maybe if you're lucky, and then the further north you get up towards the Nature Coast in Citrus County, we're going to be talking about even colder temperatures there. So again, make sure the kids are bundled up tomorrow morning. It's Florida cold, so throw on the sweatshirt, perhaps a jacket as well. And as we move in towards noontime tomorrow, we're still only at 64 degrees at about 12:20. And then high temperatures tomorrow will climb into probably about 66, 67 at best, really, for that high temperature. So that's where we top out. So it is not a warm day, tomorrow. All right, temperatures here for the most part. Taking a look at the current numbers. Dunedin at about 70, Port Richey at about 71, St. Pete now at 74. So nice and mild. We make our way, further inland, and it is a little bit cooler. Let's expand that view. And again, Sebring's at 72. Again, looking good. Frost-proof. Definitely no frost at 72. Winter Haven, it's about 74. Going up today, we're going to see highs into the upper 70s. Yesterday, we touched 80. I don't think we hit 80 degrees today. All right, that hot chocolate run, that was awesome this morning. You can see we had great conditions. Our own Nick Volturo was out there doing a great job working on his story. He's going to bring you that later on here today on 10 Tampa Bay, so make sure you tune in for that as well. All right, so cold front changes. We've got changes on the way. The early cloudiness already starting to give way to sunshine here, which is great news. So, and again, we're going to kind of play that game, that little song and dance a little bit, that cat and mouse game a little bit with some of these clouds as we head into the afternoon hours. Much cooler tonight. Temperatures will dip down to near 50 degrees as we head in towards this evening, and that's that cold front. Chilly and breezy to start. The work week tomorrow, where overnight low temperatures for the most part will be closer to 50 degrees. So definitely some chilly stuff. And even into Tuesday morning, I think we're going to have a chilly start Tuesday as well. All right, forecasted rainfall. Not much for us here in the Tampa Bay area. However, as we move a little further southward, you get in towards Punta Gorda and points to the south. Yeah, you got more rain shower chances as you get into the metro Miami, Miami-Dade County, Broward County even. You've got some rain there. All right, so Northport about 14 100ths of an inch, I should say. Wauchula, a little more than a tenth of an inch as well. But you get up towards Bradenton and Bartow, we're talking about 1/100th of an inch. So really, really light, so barely noticeable. Forecasted rainfall. Well, guess what? We had a shower already here this morning. So again, still really low chances, and it was super minimal. As we move into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, guess what? Dry. Looks good. No worries here, but it will be chilly. I think the pick of the weeks really are, Tuesday, if not Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to be in the upper 70s for highs. Perhaps a cloud or two more. Tuesday's an absolutely gorgeous day with a high of about 72. So that's a strong second here. No consolation prize for Tuesday. And by Thursday night, we run the risk of a few showers trying to move back in late Thursday night into Friday. The bigger threat is really Friday morning. I think right now we have a 20% chance of rain, and I was going to up that this morning. So I think we'll certainly up that to about 30, if not going 40% eventually by Friday. All right, so let's talk about that marine forecast. Small craft advisory is in place. Seas are running about 2 to 3 feet on the Gulf, the Bay. Light chop. The wind is going to start to tick up as well. So just be mindful of this. If you're thinking about heading out in a small craft, you may want to, rethink that, because the front is coming through, and as a result, we're going to be dealing with, a slightly bigger sea on the Gulf, and certainly some chop on the Bay as well. So just be mindful of that as we roll. You can see the winds really starting to tick up here as we head in towards the afternoon hours. All right, travel forecast. This is where it gets interesting. By 2 o'clock, the snow is pretty much done, but the damage is also done here in and around the New York City metro. We had several inches of snow already in through portions of New Jersey and in through sections of New York as well. Some of those snowfall totals have been over 6 inches worth of snow. So, pretty substantial, no doubt. Winter storm warnings were in place for a good portion of that area. So, yeah, if you're thinking about flying there, we've got delays. I'm trying to pull up the FAA website here so I can, it's flyfaa.gov. If I can get into my computer, which I can't at the moment. All right, anyway, so I digress. Cold, no doubt. Minneapolis, 7 degrees at the hour, or at least at 2 o'clock, I should say. Bismarck, Minneapolis is -7. Bismarck, 11 degrees. Chicagoland, 5 degrees on the travel forecast this afternoon. Look at all that wickedly cold air. Let me do a little drawing here. Jimmy G breaking out the pen again. Uh-oh. You know what happens when that happens. There it is. Look at that pocket of cold air. Ooh-wee. So Bismarck, 11 at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Minneapolis, -7. St. Louis, 15 degrees. Syracuse at 18. The Bills are playing at 1. And, it's going to be a cold game. Chicago and Green Bay playing. I'm not sure where that game is, if it's in Chicago. Nikki, where's that game? Chicago and Green Bay. Nick's not listening. Nick Voltoro, are you listening? Oh, where's that Chicago game today? Oh, Chicago's playing Cleveland today. Oh, okay. All right. So there we go. Nick's working on his story here in the newsroom, so I knew he would know the answer to that. So thank you, Nick. All right, so as we move in towards 4 o'clock, we're talking about, again, that rain and precip offshore. That'll continue to move on out of here, off the East Coast, I should say, and things start to quiet down. Let me show you what happens here over the next couple of days and why this might be more important to you, especially if you're not traveling. I advanced it to Thursday. Look at that line. Look at that that beast of a storm. Thankfully for us here in the Bay Area, we're talking about, obviously all rain, but that's a lot of rain, and that's a pretty potent storm. Don't get me wrong. We need the rain, but look at that line of rain extending all the way from Canada down into the middle of the Gulf, almost all the way to Brownsville, Texas. So we have our starting, we'll call that start or end there, really kind of the ending point. And then on the backside of that, you have snow there as well. This is Thursday, so that's going to be another shot of snow for the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. But, that's a, tremendous shot of rain for the folks in the New York City metro on top of the snow they got today, and then also in through the mid-Atlantic, into the southeast, a little further southward in towards North Florida. And thankfully, that looks like a good shot of rain for us. So, could be another inch worth of rain. So if that's the case, December has been really good to us in terms of rain, considering it has been super dry, drought conditions. We've had, just unbelievably dry conditions in September, in October, and in November. And each month just got progressively worse, with November, I believe, 7/100ths of an inch. So not even a tenth of an inch of rain in November. October was 4/10, something like that off the top of my head. And then in September, we had something like 3/4 of an inch. So September, October, and November combined, all 3 months combined, were less than 1.25 inches worth of rain. This last go around we had last week, Wesley Chapel, record-breaking rain. We had over 5 inches in Wesley Chapel, and we're going to get some more, obviously, as we head in towards the end of the week, which is certainly good news. So we don't need 5 inches in one shot. That could create flooding and runoff and all those sort of things. So we don't want that much in one particular instance. But at this point, we'll take anything we can get. All right, so when we come back, we're going to talk more about the forecast. We're going to try and show you some cams of, again, Atlantic City and then maybe Philadelphia as well as talk more about our local forecast. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
This autumn, give your home the upgrade it deserves. Save up to 20% during California Closet's Autumn Upgrade event, making it easier than ever to transform your space with our select finishes. Whether it's a walk-in closet, home office, pantry, or garage, our designs are about more than organization. They're about creating space for what belongs. We call it practical magic, expert design that feels effortless. Visit one of our 3 Tampa Bay showrooms or schedule your complimentary consultation today at CaliforniaClosetsTampaBay.com.
With a fresh new look and over 60 years of keeping Floridians comfortable, Cool Today is the name to trust for fast same-day service. Cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Our friendly expert technicians take the hassle out of home repair today. And Cool Today is here for you tomorrow, too. That's why we're introducing a parts and labor warranty on select AC systems for a lifetime. For cooling, plumbing, or electrical service, get the best from today and for years to come. Cool Today.
Windows are created and installed with different levels of quality. Unique quality that can withstand the tropical climate. Our installers only install PGT custom windows and doors, so we are the go-to experts. Don't take my word for it. We have been named Best of Tampa Bay 3 years in a row, Reader's Choice in Sarasota 3 years in a row, and nationally recognized as Window and Door Dealer of the Year. Price is what you pay, but value is what you get. Give WeatherTight Windows a call today, and don't forget the cookies.
I was driving when a Ford pickup truck barreled into me from behind, sending me to the hospital.
I knew my husband was going to need an excellent attorney, so I called Dan Newland.
I'm so glad my wife called Dan. Dan really fought for me. He won my case and got me $650,000.
If you've been involved in a car accident, allow me to fight for you. Call me now at 813-888-8000.
Thanks, Dan, for winning my husband's case.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us, hanging out with me here for the half hour. And you know what? We got some cool cams to show you because it's snowing out there. That's right. Not here in Florida, though. I don't want to get you, give you a heart attack. But this is Atlantic City, New Jersey. Winter storm hits the Northeast, and that has certainly hit pretty hard. There's spots. Look at that. Slush-covered roads. Not looking too good, 33 degrees, right on the line there. So we're going to put a little ice and crust on top of that snow which already has fallen there. So, obviously that's the eastern side of the Jersey Shore, southeastern portion of the Jersey Shore. Let's bring it back out to the west, to the Philly area, and you can start to see the sky clearing up a little bit. So the snow is pretty much done in Metro Philly, in Philadelphia County, in Delco, and areas like that. So that's starting to clear out in and around Philly here. So we're going to try and bring you up that picture. And you can see for now, Atlantic City, though, definitely looking pretty snow-covered and pretty snowy. Snowfall amounts have ranged a bit. All right, so there you go. So you could see, I don't know where the camera is there in Philly. Looks like you kind of see Center City in the background almost. Oh, yeah, there's the art museum. You can't really see the Rocky statue. Oh, yeah, that's what do they call that little circle there in front of the art museum? I forget. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, so that is Center City. You can see the art museum there, made famous by Rocky Balboa running up the steps. So the city of brotherly love. Streets look pretty good there. You got snow on the median. You got snow elsewhere on the grassy surfaces, but traffic seems to be moving along pretty well there. Broad Street, areas like that, doing pretty well there in Philadelphia. All right, so anyway, let's go back to the maps and let's talk about that upper air pattern, because everything starts upstairs in the atmosphere and kind of works its way down. All right, so as we move in towards tomorrow, that cold core of air, that piece of the polar vortex, that is going to start to retreat back north. So this trough is going to start kind of kicking out of here. So I'm going to fast forward this just a little bit for you. And then you could see there by Tuesday, you could see where the line was, where the trough was on Monday. And then we're going to get rid of that. I think we're going to get rid of that. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we got rid of that. And of course, since we got rid of that, we got to draw a new line where we are on Tuesday. There we go. So that's really the core of the cold Arctic air. That's going to continue pulling on out of here. There's another little surge by Wednesday, but you'll see what happens. And this is, I think, pretty good news, unless you love freezing Arctic temperatures. This thing doesn't really migrate south. It kind of stays locked up. There's a little lobe of what we call, a little lobe of that cold air, which does try to dive towards Chicagoland and St. Louis on Friday, the 19th. So if you're traveling early for Christmas and perhaps heading to Minneapolis or Chicago, you better bring that Canada Goose down or, just the buffalo skin blanket with you, because it is going to be freezing in Chicagoland. And then that sweeps right across the lakes, Lake Erie and Ontario, in towards the 21st of December. So, you could see that Arctic air mass kind of like that. So it's sort of flattening out. And then I'm going to take you as we get a little closer to Christmas. This is Monday, the 22nd. And there, the cold air, we have one lobe of it out to the west, the Arctic air, that is, right there. And then we have another shot that's sort of spilling down over the Great Lakes and in through portions of western New York a little bit. And then that moves out of there. And then lo and behold, it is now Christmas Eve, Tuesday, December 23rd. And look what we have in the west. Big old ridge of high pressure. So that is our friend, the area of high pressure out to the west, and that is going to drive the jet stream up and over that. And that ridge, I like to call it that dome of protection, is going to keep things nice and quiet for us. And we keep that Arctic air locked up here in Canada. So we're actually just going to see temperatures warm, not only in Florida, but over, over the Mississippi River and over portions of the East Coast, as we get a little closer to, I think Nick wants to make a cameo on the stream here today. So. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate it. Our own Nick Voltoro, working on his story here from the hot chocolate run this morning, back in the studio here. So we had to perk him up a little bit. He did a lot of work this morning. So He's wandering around. Anyway, temperatures here. Look at that. Current temperatures. Yikes. Woo, that is no bueno, at least as far as I'm concerned. But hey, if you live in International Falls, or you live in Minneapolis, or in Iowa Falls, or Madison, Wisconsin, good on you. If you like -2, -4, -5, these are actual air temperatures. They aren't wind chills. Good for you. That ship has sailed for me. I am not super into that. But anyway, we're fortunate here in Florida. We have some of the warmest air in the country. Brownsville, Texas, the only location giving us a run for our money right now. Key West and Miami, similar temperatures in the mid and upper 70s, but certainly not what you'll find. But what's interesting is you saw it on the previous map. The big trough that just dips down and has allowed that Arctic air to fill in there, behind and underneath that trough of low pressure. So making a run to Nashville, 19 degrees in Nashville right now. So, Tennessee. Who do you know in Nashville? 19 degrees. All right, so our forecast for today, about 77 going to do it. Lots of sunshine. The afternoon is the nicer part of the day today. After some early cloudiness, I showed you, we actually had a little sprinkle here at the station, literally on Gandy Boulevard. If we had street level mapping, it would be so cool. I could have showed you like the two streets that might have got wet, one of which is ours right here at the TV station. So pretty cool. All right, so the winds are going to tick up. Northwest at 15 to 20 as we move into later this afternoon. So 77 might not feel like 77, but it's still 77. So there is that. So we're grateful. Normal high this time of year, about 74. Tonight, 51, turning colder, obviously, and clear skies. But the wind is still elevated, and this is important. Make sure the kids are dressed warmly for the school bus tomorrow. Make sure you're dressed warmly as you make your way out to go to work. Because it's going to be chilly. 51, factor in the wind, and it's going to feel more like 41 tomorrow morning. So, yeah, definitely going to need a jacket. And then as we roll through tomorrow, guess what? Still not that warm. 65. I think that's pretty comfortable, but, when our normal high is 75, it's kind of a cooler day. So if, that's something that you could wear your sweater or maybe your boots to work or things that you don't normally wear because it's not cool enough, that's your day tomorrow. And maybe a jacket too, especially tomorrow morning. So, all right. Anyway, 7-day forecast. It looks like this. Monday, 51, 65. So less than ideal temperatures, perhaps, if you like the warmer stuff. Tuesday, we start to warm up to about 72, and then by Wednesday, 77, and then by Thursday, we've got high temperatures into the upper 70s. So we're kind of splitting hairs, I think, between the best days of the week, between Tuesday and Wednesday. I think Tuesday we see a little more sunshine, but it's only 72, so it's a below normal high temperature day. Wednesday, we see warmer temperatures, but I think we also see a few more clouds. And then we run the risk for a few isolated showers. Thursday into Friday, that's our best bet. So you know what, here, since we have a little bit of time left over, I am going to rewind this a little bit for you. And I'm going to go back to this map, and we're going to time it out here. Thursday into Friday. So there's Thursday morning, 9 a.m. And you can see we get sort of some, rain in the Gulf, it looks like, perhaps affecting, the Nature Coast and Citrus County. That's 3 a.m., kind of drifting there, then drifting away. So we'll see if we actually get a shower or two to make the trip ashore. And then 10 a.m., pretty quiet. Noontime, pretty quiet. High temperatures in the upper 70s, as I forecasted as well. And then, oops, I don't want to. Bear with me for a second. And there it is, 7 p.m., 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We start to get that rain to move into the west coast of Florida. And this is Thursday night into Friday. And then overnight, Friday, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., heavy rain. That band looks like it just sets up there. 5 a.m., 6 a.m. So if you're leaving early Friday morning, I think that's the lion's share of the rain, really from like 2 or 3 in the morning to about 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. So if you're getting out early, You got some heavy rain that you're going to have to deal and contend with Friday morning. And I wouldn't be surprised, and more than likely, if this holds up, and we do think it's going to hold up, we will issue a weather impact alert for this, not just because of the rain, but also because of the timing of the rain. That is going to impact your Friday morning commute. So weather impact alert will likely come up, let's say Tuesday, Wednesday this week. We'll probably hoist that if things stay the same. In the meantime, we're going to watch our computer model guidance, look at as much data as we can, and see if this is going to impact your life in a significant way. And if so, we will certainly issue that for you, so you know that A, you can give yourself some extra time, and you got to be careful, especially careful on the roadways Friday morning. And then as we head in towards 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, wow, that's still there. There's still a few showers towards noontime. And then that finally pushes off the East Coast by about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So just keep this in the back of your mind for later in the upcoming week, that Friday morning's commute could be a messy one. If you could work from home, do it. That's the call. And hey, it's Friday. Maybe you'll get like a 2.5-day weekend. That is a look at your weather impact alert for your Sunday here. Thank you for spending a portion of your Sunday with me. I am 10 Tampa Bay meteorologist James Gregorio. Thanks for joining us. We'll have your next newscast coming up on 10 Tampa Bay beginning at 6.